And a yellow sweatshirt took Missouri doctoral student Emma Nickerson and Aaron C. from best friends to research partners.
KOMU 8's Jacob Siciliano shares the story on how the pair are making an impact in the fashion industry.
Since grade school, fashion has been at the center of Emma Nickerson's life.
I was like 9 years old. I asked for a sewing machine and I just started like ripping things apart and making things, and I drove my parents crazy.
And her partner in crime, Aaron C.
I know that her parents' name, but I still call her Mrs. and Mr. Nickerson, and they always laugh about it. And I think I've done that since I was 15.
When they became friends in grade school, they were both typical kids. But later in life, something for C began to change.
Me and Emma first met in grade school. If you would have, put a gun to my head and said, "You're going to go blind one day," I'd be like, "You're crazy." I was like, "You're crazy. Not me, not me."
It's called retinitis pigmentosa, a genetic eye disease that degenerates sight over time with no cure. It makes simple tasks, like buying clothing, incredibly difficult.
We were just, at a normal clothing store, and I'm like, "Hey, you like this hoodie? I look good in orange."
And I was like, I think that's yellow, Aaron.
And I'm like, "Really? Who would have guessed?"
Leading Nickerson to dedicate her work to making fashion more accessible to visually impaired individuals.
When I started doing research, I asked him if he would be willing to work with me, and so every research endeavor, we worked together.
High-waisted work pants for women.
Currently, the pair is working on making websites more accessible. Aaron says a majority of visually impaired people prefer to shop online because of the difficulty of shopping in person.
One, I have to purchase transportation to get to the store. Two, I have to figure out how to navigate that store, and if there's not customer service for a site guide, I don't even know where to start when I'm looking for a shirt. I could be in the baseball section thinking I'm looking for shorts.
But shopping online still has plenty of challenges, including poor coding, pop-ups, and difficult colors. It can lead to information almost impossible to understand.
Wear must. Base weapons trousers have a flexible non-comfort. List end. List of 1 items. Bullet flex motion. Make with flexible fabric and a non-binding waistband. These
That's why Nickerson wants to develop a more inclusive dictionary of words to describe apparel. Her work is even leading her to a fellowship in Norway with 12 blind computer scientists.
They have perhaps the highest level of digital accessibility, so working with them to understand how we can come back and consult with other apparel companies on how to make their sites better.
Canvas. Search Amazon. Search Amazon.
She hopes to create a standard way to list products that can be adopted into federal legislation.
They have perhaps the highest level of digital accessibility, so working with them to understand how we can come back and consult with other apparel companies on how to make their sites better.
And it's easy to see she's impacted one for sure.
Not really, she is my best friend, but I also see her as a sister, and then, she's going to be a part of my life and my soon-to-be son's life for, until I kick the bucket.
Emma will leave Columbia for her fellowship in Norway in September. Aaron is expecting a baby boy in November as the two small town best friends look to make a big impact.